I'll kick it right to you. Uh, we both have one, separate one this time. Who's your favorite pooch?
My favorite underdog, I like the Preds. They're going to play the Oilers coming off the Battle of Alberta, which was a pretty strong showing for Edmonton. However, I think we're going to see the Oilers go back to Jack Campbell here. As you know, I'm quite low on him. We should see Saros versus Campbell, which is a huge goaltending disparity. As of now, the price is plus 140 for Nashville. I think we'll probably see that tick closer to plus 150 by game time. And I just think it's a spot where Edmonton, they still have an unreliable back end. They've got the goaltending issues. I think it's just one where we're getting such a good number to see Nashville try to expose some of those flaws. And although the Preds haven't been great, I think that's just with this goaltending disparity, if they can stay out of the penalty box, they can do the right things. They're going to make this a game more often than plus 140 or higher suggests. So yeah, I think that's my favorite underdog.
Yeah, I'll be with you on the Preds, continuing to pick spots to go against the Oilers, especially when Campbell's starting. I like Montreal. They're plus 205 against the Minnesota Wild. The Habs continue to punch up really well as an underdog. I thought the price against the Blues was crazy. That was a big win for Montreal. The Wild, meanwhile, they just haven't shown us enough yet this season. It looked like they were starting to turn a corner, and then they lost to the Red Wings. They beat the Blackhawks in very unconvincing fashion in a shootout, 3-3. They just haven't shown us enough to trust them at this kind of price right now. And Montreal just profiles as the type of pesky underdog, especially at these prices. They can score. They have a top six, really a top nine that can cause any defense trouble. It's really about, can they get enough stops? Can they get enough saves? Can they prevent enough scoring chances? And against this Wild offense, I think they should. Going into Sunday, play on Sunday, NHL favorites were 83 and 56 overall. That's just under 60%, 59.7 to be exact. Last season, that number was 64.8%. So we're starting to see a more normal NHL than we have in the past two seasons. And plus 200 underdogs. Once again, this was going into play on Sunday. We're 9 and 12. A lot of those wins came at the expense of the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's good for a 43% ROI. Last season, that number overall plus 200 underdogs were 66 and 182 for a minus 8.4% ROI. So it's not going to stay at 43% ROI, but the NHL is starting to look more like the NHL we know and loathe, with underdogs giving a good account of themselves. So I think Montreal they're the new Ottawa Senators. They're like the Sabres we talked about. These are teams that I want to back at big prices.